Hi guys and welcome back. In this video we're going to be implementing a new function that we're going to call multiply, and we're going to be writing a few tests for it with what we know now on boundary value analysis and equivalence partitioning. Let's start by writing our function, which I'm going to call multiply, and what it's going to do is it's going to take any number of arguments, and each one is going to be either an int or a float. Notice that by doing star args, which by the way you can do star values or star a or whatever you want, by doing that, this function will be called like this, 359. You can pass in any number of arguments here. You don't have to pass in a list of arguments or anything like that. Just separate individual arguments to this function is what this star means in front of args. Okay. So now we've got that, and what we're going to do is check if the len of args is 0, and if it is, we're going to raise a value error, and we're going to say that at least one value to multiply must be passed, and do make sure to use the right brackets there. Otherwise, we're going to start at 1, and we're going to iterate over the arguments, and we're going to just multiply total by arg, and at the end we're going to return total. Very naive, very simple multiplication method, by far not the best one, but simple enough. However, if you look at this code, it may not be immediately obvious everything that it does and potentially all the different paths that code could take through it. So it is always good to write some tests when you have a function like this one, so that you can show people that look at the tests everything that you know about the function, and also so you can set in stone what you expect the function to, and also so you can set in stone how you expect the function to behave. That way, if that changes later on down the line, some of your tests will fail and you'll be able to identify exactly what's changed in your code in case you didn't realize. So what we'll do is we'll start by testing a multiplication where the values or the arguments is empty. So we'll say test multiply empty, and then we will come here and say with self.assert raises a value error. We will just type multiply like that, and you do need to import it, of course. Now if we run this, it should pass, because not passing any arguments will cause args to have a length of 0, and then this will raise a value error. At this point, I'm going to enable this toggle down on the bottom left so that this reruns every time I save the file. Let's go into our second test. Now that we've tested the empty arguments, we should also test boundaries around it, or rather the 0 argument is the boundary,